Hey YouTube, it's Kozak, and in this video I'm going to show you how to properly oil your scalp and your twist for hair growth. So as we all know, twists are a protective style, but unlike other protective styles like cornrows or braids, they don't last as long. Because of this makes it a little harder to take care of, but even with the fact that they don't last as long, it's still one of my favorite protective styles. They just look great. But with protective styles, we have to remember what they're intended for. It's not just to look good. They're also meant to protect your hair and help with hair growth and stimulate growth overall. So if you have two-strand twisting and you aren't currently doing this, you need to take care of your twists properly, and I'll show you just how.
So I've had these twisting for about 3 weeks and a half now, so almost 4 weeks, and you can kind of see they are getting fuzzy. That's the thing about twists. They don't last as long as braids, but as a sacrifice, you get a really good look. A lot of you guys always say like, my twist and my braids last forever, and this is what they look like when they're like nearing the end of their life here.
We got a little fuzz on the roots. I definitely need a lineup and a haircut, but overall they've held up pretty good, and that's because of the way that I care for my twist. The twists themselves, you can see a little fuzz coming out. They aren't as amazing as they were when I first got them. I'll put a picture on screen of when I first got them. If I went and got like a lineup and a fade, these would look almost brand new. Like I previously said, two-strand twists are a protective style, and because of that, they hold in moisture a lot better than if your hair was just loosely out. But even though they hold in moisture better, you still have to add in moisture externally. And this is where oiling your scalp and your hair comes into play. It's very, very important that you oil your scalp and your twist if you truly want to get the benefits and the growth that come from getting a protective style. So of course, the first thing you're gonna need is a hair oil. Now, when it comes to hair oils, you can use whatever works best for your hair, but if you don't really know what's gonna work best, I usually go with Wild Growth hair oil. This is a blend of oils that kind of has everything in there, so you don't have to worry if one or the other is gonna work well for you. Recently though, I've been trying this out. This is the Main Attraction hair growth oil. I think it's pretty solid. I've only been using it for around 2 weeks now, but I'll give you guys like a full in-depth review of what I think of it later. But we're gonna use this for this video. I'll leave a link to where you can grab it down in the description if you're interested in it. So after you grab your oil, hopefully your oil has a nozzle like this. If not, then you probably should get a hair oil that does have a nozzle like this. You're also gonna probably need a mirror. If you don't have a secondary mirror, it's gonna be very, very hard to do this on your own. So you want like a bathroom mirror and a secondary mirror. The best way to start off oiling your scalp is you only want a few drops. Don't drench your scalp in oil. But you're gonna just start off through the biggest part. So if the biggest part for your hair is through the middle, then you're gonna go through the middle. And you're just gonna apply a very light amount. You really, really do not need very much. And then once you get like halfway and you can't see your scalp anymore, this is where this secondary mirror comes into play. So you're going to see where you stopped at, and then you're just gonna continue. Let me see if I can get that on camera.
All right, so your objective here is to kind of trace and outline each and every one of your parts. So each of these little square parts, you're going to trace the very outline where you see exposed scalp. You don't want to put the oil directly into like your actual hair on your scalp. You want to just trace lightly outside. Using a spraying amount of oil, don't use too much. You really don't need a lot of oil. Very little amount of oil will go a long way.
So the main point here is to follow each part to kind of outline each and every one of your twists. This can be fairly difficult, so if you can't accomplish this on your own, you might want to ask somebody else to do it for you. Now you might be asking yourself, why are we outlining each and every part? Why are we outlining each and every twist rather than just putting oil throughout our entire twist? And the main reason for that is you don't want to ruin your twist. So manipulating your hair, touching your hair too much, it just instantly creates fuzz. So if you put oil directly into each and every one of your parts, it's gonna just make your hair super fuzzy. So now we're gonna do the same exact thing on the other side. Outlining each and every one of our twists here. We're just trying to disperse the oil throughout the entirety of our head as evenly as we possibly can. All right, after you're certain that you hit every single part, it's now time to spread the oil throughout your scalp. So you're gonna take your pinky finger. I always recommend doing your pinky finger rather than any other finger. I just feel like it's a little smaller, it's a little harder to get your hair to be super frizzy. I don't know, I just always do it with my pinky. Now you're gonna go through and you're going to just trace each and every one of those with your pinky to make sure that the oil is kind of seeping in. On top of that, while I go straight down here, what I'm gonna do is slightly work each of these into the actual twist here, into the actual part of the twist here. Each one of these little boxes, we're gonna work the oil into it. So this is how the oil is actually going to get underneath each of these twists, rather than just like sitting on each of the outside parts.
All right, I just want to remind you guys to be very gentle while you do this. Please do not be too rough. You will mess up each of your parts of your twist. So just be gentle, lightly, with very light pressure. Just work that into each of your parts here.
All right, so after applying oil and working it into each and every one of these parts, it's now time to apply oil to our actual twist. Now this part is fairly simple. You're just gonna take the oil and apply it directly into your hands. You're gonna rub your hands together and then you're going to lightly squeeze and pat each one of your twists to have it absorb the oil. You don't want to run your fingers or rake your fingers through your hair. It's just gonna instantly create frizz. You just want to squeeze, and with each squeeze is gonna absorb a bit of oil. So that's your only aim, that's all that you're doing. So we're gonna do that. Again, you really don't need that much oil. This is probably enough for my entire head. So just rub your hands together. Your hands should literally look like this. So now we're going to work. Remember, squeeze. We're going to squeeze each and every one of these twists. Do not do any other technique. Do not run your fingers down your twist. Just squeeze each and every one of these twists all the way up to the roots, and then we're just gonna do that with every single one. And you can already see how much more moisturized they look. Make sure to pay extra attention or give your ends extra love, as the ends of your hair tend to be the very driest. So you can see how much more hydrated this looks compared to this one. So you can see this one looks fairly dry compared to this one here. You can see the difference there. So let's continue doing this. This is why it's important to oil your actual twist. You always want your twists to have moisture in them. You always want to keep them hydrated. Just a very gentle squeezing motion. You don't have to be too rough or really firm with these squeezes here. Very light squeezes. And that should be enough. You might even want to take like a rubber band so that you know which ones you've done and which ones you haven't. All right, and then with just the leftover oil here, what I like to do is just very lightly just pat my scalp. Kind of have it absorb the rest of the oil there so that we're not wasting oil. Again, do not work your hands through your hair. You just want to pat. Apply a patting motion. All right, and that's it. By doing this, you're gonna continue to keep your hair in an ideal environment to where your hair can actually thrive, stimulate hair growth, and flourish. And on top of that, you're gonna be taking care of your twists so that they can last longer and stay neater for way longer. But this is what our twists are looking like after. They look significantly more hydrated and significantly better than when we started. So if you have twists and you aren't doing this, I highly suggest that you do this. Remember, the purpose of a protective style is to keep your hair together, to keep your hair strong, and to stimulate hair growth. And you're gonna be doing just that by properly oiling your scalp and your twist. If you liked this video or found it helpful, go ahead and hit the like button. If you care about your hair, which I know you do, then this channel is all about it, so subscribe with the bell so that you can stay tuned. And really quickly, I'd like to announce that I started a new channel. It's called Kozak Vlogs. On this channel, you'll see uncut, raw, exclusive footage that you wouldn't normally see on this channel. Here's a short preview. If me and you ever fought, I want to show you guys how bad I beat you for real. So I'm gonna demonstrate, and I'm gonna just show y'all how bad I really do y'all for real. Alright? Alright. That's just an example of my power. So if this interests you at all, head over there and subscribe with the bell. But yeah, that's all the time that I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for coming through and seeing me. I'm Kozak, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.